Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Tim Brown, and this is Monday Morning Marketing and Coffee, and I do this every single week for the most part. And today I'm going to be talking about the three biggest pieces of advice that I'd have for a new or hopeful entrepreneur. And I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine this past week, end of the week here, and he's going out on his own. He's a very talented, extremely smart and driven person. And first of all, I wouldn't suggest trying this unless you're pretty good at what you're doing. Try an entrepreneurship, but this guy is particularly bright and has worked for a lot of very good companies. But entrepreneurship is a different beast. So I have three of my biggest pieces of advice. I think at the time I gave him two of these, and I'm going to add a third. One, so first of all, he just came to me and he said, "Hey man, like, how are you doing this? How are you getting clients? What else you got for me? Take a look at this. Take a look at our website. What should I be doing differently?" And actually on Friday night, I was kind of, I was actually at a hotel. I was traveling for work and I was enjoying myself. I was kind of relaxed, but I got excited. And I kind of mocked up a little bit about what I would suggest for his website. And there's some cool things. But these are the three biggest pieces of advice I'd have for somebody who's a new entrepreneur or a hopeful entrepreneur. I hope some of this is useful to you. The first one is niche. And I think everyone hears this one a lot, especially if you're really pursuing entrepreneurship. People say this all the time, niche. And, it just means finding a particular segment of people that your service is extremely useful to and really focusing your efforts on those people. And, we get a lot of customers just from being visible on Google for Minneapolis terms. And we get a lot of business from people that are just like, they've said, oh, these people do good work. They did good work for us. So we get a lot of, 63% of our business comes from referrals. But if you're doing any kind of outbound sales or targeted marketing or anything like that, it's really good to have a niche to really know who you're talking to when you're doing outbound stuff. So the number one piece of advice, and these aren't in particular order, but niche is super important. Ours is construction and small businesses. And I think even if you have to kind of contrive a niche, because I just based this off of our best customers, the people that we found we're super useful for are these people. They're in the trades, they're small businesses, those type of people. So I started to see a pattern. So that's why we chose construction and small business. But really, you work for a little bit and you start to see, okay, these types of people I'm super good at working with. I'm super useful for, we're super useful for, so that's huge. Number two piece of advice that I'd have for a new or hopeful entrepreneur is recurring revenue. So figure out if you can create a model around each month or each week or whatever it happens to be. Ours is monthly. How can we be useful to these people in a monthly way? Because projects are difficult. I mean, it's very hard to hire new people. And we have 2 new people starting this morning. I'm super excited about it. We're up to 8 people. And it's very hard to hire if you don't have monthly predictable revenue coming in. So if I want to be as useful as possible to the people around me, I ideally, from my perspective, have a recurring model where I can be useful on a regular basis so I know what our sales cycle is like and I know how many people we can hire to fulfill on that business. So number one, niche. Number 2, recurring revenue model. And number 3, this is the one I didn't share with my buddy, but I think is important, is having some kind of overlap into the new business. So a friend or I consider him kind of a mentor, but he's media. He creates a lot of content. His name is Sean McCabe, SeanWest.com, and his book is called The Overlap Technique. And it really talks about how sometimes you have to have a day job. a day job that pays the bills and allows you to create some kind of runway to get up to entrepreneurship, because sometimes it's not appropriate to put all of your weight on that. I didn't start my entrepreneurial journey completely. I mean, I did start it back, even when I was in college and stuff like that, but I didn't start it completely 100% full time until I had worked somewhere else 2.5 years. And my revenue from the freelance had actually surpassed what my salary was. And I say that and people are like, wait, what? No, seriously, my revenue was more than my salary, my revenue from my freelance stuff. And that was with 15 to 20 hours a week. So I had to do that. For me, I had to do that before I would I still felt like a leap jumping out on my own, because it's terrifying. And I think knowing that it's terrifying, having intestinal fortitude, that's huge. Like, it's scary and it's anxiety producing. It reminds me of back a year and a half ago or something like that. I had some money in cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, and it was actually terrifying, and it was really distracting. And I didn't have the intestinal fortitude for cryptocurrencies. I wasn't going to sit there and have all my money in that business. Having a small business and being an entrepreneur is kind of like that. It's terrifying. There's ups and downs, and it's scary. I think that's why recurring is really important, and it's still scary. So anyways, those are my 3 top biggest pieces of advice I'd have for new or hopeful entrepreneur. I still feel like when I do these, I'm kind of like, who should take advice from me? I mean, but seriously, there's definitely useful things that I've learned, so I try to share them along the way, even though I'm still learning. I think that's good with content. As you're learning, share what you know. But yeah, those 3 things again are niche. Find a particular group of people that you're really useful for and focus your outbound marketing and sales efforts on those people. Doesn't mean you can't serve other people. It just means that you have a particular group of people that your marketing and your sales is really focused towards, so that you can get efficiencies there. Number 2, so number 2 is recurring. And this just means, get business that you have commitments from people for the next 6 months or something like that. But people are coming back on a monthly basis. That's a powerful way to create consistency and hire against it. And number 3, overlap technique. Use your current thing to create a runway, a financial runway, and try to actually build it on the side. If people, I kind of tell people, I know this sounds harsh, but if you aren't willing to spend 15 to 20 hours at least on the side of your day job working on this, it's very hard to create a business. So I spent 60, 70 hours a week for a long time, 60 to 70 hours a week. And people look at me like, you're crazy. Why would don't suggest that to people. That's terrible. Work-life balance. I'm like, I know, I get it. I definitely suggest that for people that are employees and stuff like that. But yeah, it's 67. I did 60, 70 hours a week for a while. So, I mean, without understanding that you have to overlap, you have to work on the side for a long period of time. And that's what I did. I think people might not have the intestinal fortitude to do entrepreneurship full-time. Anyways, those are my 3: niche, recurring revenue, overlap technique. And I really appreciate you guys spending your time listening to me this morning. I value your time, and I try to be really, quick and give a lot of value on these Monday morning marketing and coffee things. And I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. And thank you, Matt. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward to talking with you guys again next Monday. Got a couple good videos coming out this week, so follow us on facebook.com/hookagency about video marketing and stuff that I've been doing, and some technical things related to video that I think you guys might find useful, and do a little bit more of what you love this week. All right, bye guys.